This episode in particular is about what do you want, and do you ever get a chance to have it?
Lane, I think Roger and I, and probably Don, should take your friend out to a dinner which is strictly business.
I wanted to do an episode about friendship and the tentative nature of business friendships.
You wouldn't want to hit a golf ball off the tee when you could hit it from the green.
We need you to stay a pure friend. Practice your putting.
Roger, of course, is Professor Emeritus of Advertising, and Lane is cultivating this friendship to get the account, and then Pete has Don over to his house.
I'm not going to pretend it's not a big deal to us that you came out.
Oh, come on.
The dinner party goes splendidly. Trudy is great at that sort of thing, and I think he's been wanting to show that off to Don for a while.
You know, this could be fun.
How's that work?
Don's reluctance is an extension of what we saw in episode 1 and 2, where he kind of wants to keep his work life and his private life separate.
I got it. You want to be alone?
Do you mind?
I think Ken and Peggy have this really interesting, sweet relationship. They've always gotten along, they've always helped each other, and they've really kind of been two of the only characters who've never had a problem, really.
You know, I write stories.
You're still doing that? She just sort of respects the idea that he's doing something outside of the office, even though she makes fun of him for it. It's a really sweet scene near the end when he decides he's not going to write anymore.
Ben Hargrove is dead. I'm through with all that fantasy stuff.
I think she really feels like her heart goes out to him in that sense, because I think she admires that he has this creative side to him and is disappointed to see that he is not going to keep going with it.
Excuse me, gentlemen, if I may, I have a bit of new business.
Lane is trying to be an ad man.
I've begun a bit of a friendship with Edwin Baker, Senior Vice President of Public Relations for Jaguar Cars Incorporated. He innately understands that he is losing his significance at the company and needs to establish a reason within the other people's eyes about why they need him. It's a kind of a sort of sweet thing and kind of sad in that they encourage Lane to get Edwin to talk about himself and to share some secrets. But Edwin is so blissfully happy that there are no dark secrets for him to share.
I think the cause of our friendship would be best served by us having a little fun.
And really all Edwin wants to do is he wants to go out on the town and have a sort of Madison Avenue whore fest.
I don't think Don has a lot of good memories about brothels, whorehouses, or any other sort of similar venues. So his reluctance has something to do with his history, but Pete has no such problem.
He's looking for something to keep him young.
He is with that woman, and you find out what his fantasy is. You see his powerlessness.
You're my king.
Okay.
It is that idea of trying to keep his life exciting and keep something that is not so predictable. He knows when he comes home what it's going to be, and that's wonderful. But 5 days a week, every week of the year, you need an adventure. And so he's looking for that. He's looking for someone to make him feel like he's the man.
I love this idea that Don looks at what Pete has and judges him for it. And Pete looks at what he has and he is not happy.
Roger is miserable. I didn't think you were.
I have it all.
He has everything, and it's clear that he has everything, but he doesn't feel right. It's a devastating episode. I think it's the saddest episode we've ever had.
Your activities last night have cost us this account. I think one of the saddest things in this episode is he discovers what Pete Campbell really thinks of him.
As far as I can tell, our need for you disappeared the day after you fired us.
It's quite a terrible thing. It's quite crushing. The boxing match. It was a sort of mix of different styles, basically, and the idea was that Lane had learnt to box in that sort of classic old school tradition, which is very straight up, side onwards, and that your fits up like this.
This is medieval.
There was a comic potential to it as well, because of the disparity in the training, and in terms of seeing the two styles clashing. It gave Lane, a chance to fight for his dignity.
Why are we even having a fight at work? This is an office. We're supposed to be friends.
But the friendships are, quote, friendships, and there is no loyalty, and part of the theme of the season is it's every man for himself.
I have nothing done.
Pete feels a pain and a heart sickness that goes with the complacency and the expectation for what life is that's very, very deep. And I hope the audience can feel that when they get to the end of the episode.
AMC's Mad Men, new episodes, Sunday nights at 10. For more exclusive video, go to amctv.com.